I done said this joke a long time ago. I'ma say it again. Rich and white women don't go together. Tight end, like that tight end. Played the right position, boy. Tight end, like that tight end. You can catch that football. But now you done caught a case.
The tea on Shannon Sharpe just keeps getting messier by the day. And now, Eddie Griffin is throwing even more gas on the fire. Griffin's latest stand-up has the internet in meltdown mode, straight up calling Shannon DL, and hinting that all this drama with OnlyFans model Gabriella Zuniga is just a cover-up for his real preferences.
Gay. That gay, nigga. That nigga sitting there with them ass pants on, with his balls all up in cat's face. You can tell how that.
But that's not all. Fans are going wild over leaked texts from Gabriella, where she claims Shannon wanted her to play with her. You get the picture. Social media is in full meltdown, with people asking, is Gabriella just a smokescreen? And is there way more to Shannon's personal life than he's letting on? And let's not forget the real bombshell. The rumors about Shannon's close relationship with his former male stylist, Hollywood, those have been swirling for years. They were spotted together on what looked like a romantic getaway, and after the stories broke, Shannon fired Hollywood, but by then, the damage was done.
It is more they got on his when it comes to that Hollywood, that stylist that he has been seen with on the court side.
Even other celebrities like Shaq and Mike Epps are chiming in, with Epps joking he turned down an interview because he didn't want Shannon looking at his balls. The industry is buzzing, and every move Shannon makes, like that infamous IG Live accident with a woman named Michelle, only seems to add more fuel to the fire. So is this all just a wild comedy roast, or is Shannon Sharpe really trying to cover up something big? From lawsuits to leaked DMs, and now Eddie Griffin's viral jokes, this story just keeps getting juicier. Let's get into this.
Did it with a smile on his face. I feel good. I feel good. Life goes on. I'm gonna beat this. Because if that had been me, I'd have came on. Y'all looking at a dead man.
All right, before we dive into the drama, let's set the stage, because this isn't just a random comedian taking shots at a retired football star. No, this is Eddie Griffin versus Shannon Sharpe, two larger-than-life personalities with enough history, controversy, and viral moments to fill a stadium. Let's start with Eddie Griffin. If you don't know him, you've probably laughed at one of his jokes, maybe even when you weren't supposed to. This is the guy who ranked number 62 on Comedy Central's Top 100 stand-ups, and honestly, he probably roasted the other 61 on the way up. He's got a style that's part social commentary, part did he really just say that? And yes, he did. Whether he's talking about race, politics, or celebrities, Eddie Griffin has never met a line he wouldn't cross, or at least tiptoe over with a wink.
I'm like, is this the son of God? Or you getting ready to pick cotton? You know what I'm saying? Jesus left the house when he was 13. That's a bad walk up to his parents. Look, I got to go. They're like, no, baby, no, I got to go.
The man's jokes have gone viral more times than your aunt's Facebook's posts. Remember his 2023 take on Diddy's freak-offs? Or his 2025 roast about Sharpe's legal drama? The guy's got a sixth sense for controversy, and a track record for calling out celebrities before the tabloids catch up.
When did y'all get a load of me?
Sharp! Touchdown!
You play one-on-one with a linebacker or safety, Shannon was going to win.
My goodness, how do you get that wide open?
He was outstanding. I don't know if there was a better tight end.
For Shannon Sharpe, what a huge day.
Now, Shannon Sharpe, three-time Super Bowl champ, Pro Football Hall of Famer. The man redefined the tight end position and still found time to rack up more receiving yards than some wide receivers dream of. But retirement didn't slow him down. He just swapped touchdowns for hot takes. From 2016 to 2023, he was the king of sports debate on Undisputed, trading verbal jabs with Skip Bayless. Then came Club Shay Shay, where he interviews everyone, from comedians to athletes to, well, anyone who can keep up with his energy. But lately, things got messy. A $50 million lawsuit, some legal heat, and suddenly Sharpe's name is popping up in places even he probably wishes it wouldn't. Here's where it gets spicy. In 2024, Griffin showed up on live stand-up and poked fun at Sharpe's dating life, and everyone had a good laugh. But behind the scenes, maybe not so friendly. Griffin was taking shots at Shannon's legal troubles on his own channel, calling him not that Sharpe. Savage. Sharpe's response? A classic social media unfollow. In the celebrity world, that's basically a declaration of war.
Yeah, Shay Shay. Gay. That nigga That sitting there with them tight pants on, with his balls and all of them cat's face. You can tell how that drink. He kept on saying, now, cat. That's lips, nigga.
Yep, he went there. And he didn't stop. Next, Griffin hops on his YouTube show, and then, April 29, 2025, Griffin drops the bombshell about Sharp's alleged affair. The internet absolutely lost its mind. Here's the thing. Eddie Griffin isn't just a loudmouth with a mic. His jokes about Diddy, Cosby, Jonathan Majors, they all blew up before the real scandals hit. Coincidence? Maybe. But Hollywood is listening. The man's been in 50-plus films, 35 years in the business. When he talks, people pay attention, even if it's just to see who he'll roast next. And the timing couldn't be juicier. Sharp's already in the headlines for his lawsuit and ESPN hiatus. And now this. If you're a PR rep, you're sweating. Okay, so buckle up, because this is where the tea gets nuclear. Eddie Griffin didn't just throw shade, he launched a solar eclipse right over Shannon Sharpe's reputation. And he did it the only way Eddie Griffin can. Raw, ruthless, and with just enough truth to make everyone squirm. Yes, he literally said, Shannon ain't that sharp. He got finessed by a 19-year-old to cover his DL lifestyle. Translation, Griffin saying that $50 million lawsuit with OnlyFans model Gabriella Zuniga, just a smokescreen to cover up what's really going on behind the scenes.
You just a hard head. You got football head, see. You've been busted in the head too many times. You should have wore a helmet, your helmet head. I done said this joke a long time ago. I'ma say it again. Rich and white women don't go.
But the plot thickens. Griffin claims Sharp's old stylist, Russell Hollywood Mugler, wasn't just picking out suits, he was allegedly picking out vacation spots for two. Romantic getaways, sudden firings, and a whole lot of no comment. And Griffin isn't shy about name-dropping. He even drags in NFL whispers, comparing Sharp to Kerry Rhodes and his own stylist rumors. Hollywood, baby. Everyone's got a secret. But not everyone's got Eddie Griffin with a microphone. The internet? Oh, it exploded. Memes everywhere. TikTok detectives analyzing Sharp's every move. Literally. Remember that 2024 Instagram Live accident? TikTok said it best. Nobody accidentally goes live mid-hookup unless they're overcompensating. Even celebrities couldn't resist. Mike Epps on stage goes, Shannon called me for an interview. Nah, I ain't letting him stare at my balls. Shaq throws shade without naming names. Some people need to focus less on podcasts and more on their personal trainers. And then Mugler himself drops a cryptic Insta story. See, when I was around, you never heard a word. Is that a flex, a warning, or both? You decide. It was a full-blown circus. And right in the middle, Shannon Sharpe trying to play it cool.
What they're doing now is that they found out that Shannon is the hot thing. They're using the same joke. It's going to get old and people are going to get tired of y'all saying that Shannon this, and you're going to have to get back to telling jokes.
Translation, I'm not mad, you're mad, but everyone's watching to see if he cracks. But did Hollywood Mugler have receipts to back up Griffin's claims? And how did Gabriella Zuniga's lawsuit play into this? Let's break down the evidence. Let's get one thing straight. If you came here looking for a smoking G, you might want to check the prop closet at Club Shay Shay, because so far the only thing on fire is the rumor mill. Eddie Griffin's revelations about Shannon Sharpe are juicier than a TMZ group chat. But when you peel back the layers, what do you really have? A cryptic Instagram story, some spicy text messages, and enough industry whispers to fill a haunted house. Let's dig in. First, let's talk about Griffin's evidence. The man's got a history of calling out celebrities before their scandals break. He roasted Diddy and Cosby before the headlines hit. So sure, he's got a nose for drama. But this time, the receipts are looking a little store brand. The best Griffin can muster is Mugler's Instagram post. See, when I was around, you never heard a single word, which could mean he was Sharpe's image consultant, his hype man, or just the only guy who could get him into the right skinny jeans. Context? Non-existent. The post is private. The caption is vague. And the only thing it really proves is that Mugler knows how to stir the pot without burning his own hands. Then there's the infamous lawsuit. Griffin claims the $50 million civil suit from Gabriella Zuniga is all smoke and mirrors, a distraction from Sharpe's true preferences. But let's check the legal fine print. Zuniga's case is about alleged A, not infidelity or sexuality. In fact, legal analysts say the only thing Sharpe's bedroom antics prove is that he needs better OPSEC, not a new label. If this is a cover-up, it's about as subtle as Sharpe's suit collection. Loud, flashy, and impossible to ignore. But not exactly airtight. And don't get me started on those text messages. Sharp's team thought they'd clear his name by releasing some explicit back and forth with Zuniga, but all they really did was give the internet more fuel for the meme machine. Race play, role play, and enough TMI to make even Eddie Griffin blush? If the goal was to distract, mission accomplished. If the goal was to prove innocence, well, let's just say the jury's still out, and probably a little uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Sharp is playing the classic "if I say nothing, I win" defense. On his podcast, he shrugs it all off as recycled jokes, refusing to dignify Griffin's claims with a direct denial. Is that the move of a man with nothing to hide, or just someone who knows the Streisand effect is real? ESPN, for their part, clearly isn't buying the "it's just jokes" angle. They bench Sharp faster than you can say corporate risk assessment. The experts are split. Gossip hounds and YouTube pundits are foaming at the mouth, convinced that where there's smoke, there's a bonfire. Legal analysts, they're rolling their eyes, reminding us that lawsuits are about facts, not flamboyant fashion choices. And cultural critics are quick to point out that this whole DL lifestyle narrative is a tired trope used to undermine black men in the public eye, whether there's truth to it or not. So what's the verdict? Griffin's got jokes, Shannon's got problems, and the internet's got opinions. But hard evidence? That's still MIA. Until someone drops a real bombshell, photos, receipts, or maybe just a stylist willing to spill the real tea, we're left with a messy, hilarious, and totally unresolved saga. And honestly, isn't that exactly how celebrity scandals are supposed to work in 2025? Now, it's not like no one ever warned Shannon of this scandal happening. Let's get one thing straight. Monique didn't just warn Shannon Sharp, she basically handed him a survival guide to avoid this exact mess. And he laughed it off like she was doing stand-up.
Need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs.
Rewind to February 2024. Monique sat across from Sharp on Club Shay Shay, side-eyeing his dating habits like a disappointing auntie. Her advice? Stop chasing 26-year-olds and find a fat girl who can bake cakes and rub your feet. Sharp chuckled like it was a joke.
That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you.
But Monique wasn't playing. She doubled down. These young girls will bite you. Fast forward to 2025, and Gabriella Zuniga's lawsuit shows she wasn't just biting, she brought a whole legal shark tank. Who could have predicted this? Oh, right. Everyone with eyes. Monique practically handed Sharp a roadmap titled "How Not to Get Canceled," and he lit it on fire to impress a teenager. The irony? Sharp's own show created the receipts that now haunt him. By platforming Monique's warning, he gave us the ultimate "I told you so" clip, a self-own for the ages. If you want to understand just how fast a reputation can go up in flames in 2025, look no further than the saga of Shannon Sharpe and Eddie Griffin, a case study in how celebrity, scandal, and social media can turn a Hall of Famer into a trending meme in less than it takes to say "Club Gay Gay." Let's zoom out. This isn't just about one ex-NFL star and one comedian with a taste for controversy. It's about how the rules of the fame game have changed, and how the internet now acts as judge, jury, and executioner, often before the facts are even in. First, the context. Sharp's legal woes are very real. A $50 million lawsuit from OnlyFans model Gabriella Zuniga, allegations of SA, and leaked messages that, frankly, would make even the most seasoned PR rep break into a cold sweat. Eddie Griffin, never one to miss a headline, pounced, using his stand-up and YouTube platform to claim the lawsuit was a smokescreen for Sharp's DL lifestyle and alleged affair with his former stylist, Hollywood Muggler. Griffin's jokes went viral instantly, with his Club Gay Gay punchline racking up millions of views and sparking hashtags like #DLShannon and #Club Gay Gay across X and TikTok. But here's a twist. In the age of algorithmic outrage, it barely matters whether Griffin's claims are true. TikTok detectives and Twitter sleuths start dissecting every moment of Sharp's public life. Old Instagram lives, courtside photos with Muggler, even the way Sharp drinks on camera. Suddenly, everything was evidence. One TikTok breakdown of Sharp's brown starfish text with Zuniga alone hit over 8 million views. The fallout, swift and brutal. ESPN bent Sharp. Sponsors started reassessing partnerships, and Club Shay Shay lost nearly a quarter of its female audience in a single week. Social media became a battleground, with Team Sharp defending their guy. This is a setup to take down a black successful man, and Team Griffin fanning the flames. Where there's smoke, there's fire and a whole lot of memes.
you're just not that sharp. ESPN let him go, the little mouse. Disney owns ESPN, so that's why they had to let him go because, they're a good, clean, upstanding company. Wink, wink.
But this isn't just about Sharp. It's about a larger pattern. Black male celebrities facing public reckoning, with careers derailed not just by alleged misconduct, but by the way rumors, especially about sexuality, are weaponized to undermine credibility. Think Jonathan Majors, Diddy, and now Sharp. The DL narrative is a double-edged sword. It exposes real issues of homophobia and toxic masculinity, but also becomes a tool for character elimination, regardless of the truth. Meanwhile, the legal case is a circus of its own. Zuniga's lawsuit focuses on A, not infidelity or orientation, but the release of explicit text by Shannon's team, meant to clear his name, just gave the internet more to meme and speculate about. Hollywood Muggler's cryptic Instagram story only added fuel, with fans decoding every emoji like it was a Zapruder film. Shannon's immediate future is dominated by the $50 million civil lawsuit brought by Gabriella Zuniga. The case, which alleges essay and battery, is likely to drag well into 2026, as both sides dig in for a protracted legal fight. Shannon's legal team has strongly denied the allegations, calling them a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharp for millions of dollars, and has released explicit text to support his defense, a move that backfired by fueling even more gossip and speculation about his private life. Professionally, Shannon is in limbo. ESPN has benched him from First Take, pending further review. And while Shannon has publicly stated he hopes to return for the NFL preseason, nothing is guaranteed. The network is closely monitoring ratings and public sentiment, and sponsors like DraftKings are reassessing partnerships in light of the controversy. If the negative headlines persist, or if the lawsuit escalates, ESPN may decide to part ways permanently, a move that would deal a serious blow to Shannon's media empire. So where does this leave us? Sharp's career is hanging by a thread, his public image battered by both legal allegations and viral innuendo. Griffin, meanwhile, is riding high on clicks, proving once again that in 2025, controversy isn't just currency, it's the whole economy. And the audience? We're left to scroll, comment, and meme our way through the chaos, knowing full well that by next week, there'll be a new scandal to dissect. Welcome to the jungle. If you made it this far, you clearly love the real story behind the headlines. Don't just watch, join the conversation. Drop your take in the comments. Is Eddie Griffin exposing the truth or just stirring the pot? If you want more unfiltered breakdowns and the latest on celebrity scandals, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with your friends. Your voice matters here. Let's keep the debate going and see where this wild story goes next.